Hello everyone, Cat Goblin or Martin here. Now so far I've been reviewing a lot of games that give off a futuristic feeling or vibe, such as Sonic Riders, Rolling Thunder, Meet the Robinsons, Scooby-Doo Night of 100 Frights, Star Wars The Clone Wars Lightsaber Duels, Sonic Colors, Lego Star Wars, The Simpsons Hit and Run, and Warpath. Well, in this review I'm going to be showing off every single enemy and boss in Robots the video game. Yes, a very random game indeed, but throughout my childhood I played a lot of random games like it. I'll try not to make it long, and I'll go through the bosses quicker. So without further ado, let's see what kind of enemy robots Rodney has to face. Some key things to note is that all enemies only take away 1 bar of health. They drop scrap when defeated. When fighting a group of robots, only one will attack you at a time. If an enemy hits you, they'll kind of forget about you for a while. Melee enemies can sense you if you're on the same floor as them, and ranged enemies can sense you if you're in their field of view. Also, after when you defeat an enemy, Rodney has some dialogue in the form of puns. The first enemy that you encounter is the Dogbot. You first find it in Rivet Town and can be found in City Journey, Big Welt's Factory, Outmode Zone, Sewer Showdown, Big Welt's Mansion, and Ratchet Showdown. There are 3 variations of the Dogbot, which are the Red, Sewer, and Security, and they all function the same. The Dogbots will bite you, and they have very little health.
My dad taught me that.
The second enemies that you meet are the security robots. You first encounter them in Rivet Town, and they're also found in Big Welt's Factory and a mansion. The security robots have a spin attack, they will hit you, and they have quite a bit of health. Next are the Buzzsaw bots. You first encounter them in City Journey, and they can also appear in Outmode Zone and the Chop Shop. As you can tell by the name, these little robots will try to hit you with their saw, but because of their size, they have very little health.
There's an adjustment for you.
Our first ranged enemy is the Trash Can Turret, and it's only found in City Journey. This turret will shoot a small missile at you. It can turn around, pretty easy to take out, and has very little health. Next up are the Brute Bots. You first encounter them in City Journey, and they can be found in Outmode Zone and the Old Sewer. These big robots will charge right at you and try to clobber you with their huge fists. They're really easy to dodge, and they have quite a bit of health. Next to Robothug is the Shield and Gun bot. You first encounter him in City Journey, and he makes a last appearance in Big Welt's Factory. This bot can fire 2 missiles at a time. When you get close, he will hit you with his gun. Now, because he holds a shield in his right hand, you have to hit him from the sides or back. Not very hard, and has little health.
Hey, your Nano pilot's crap.
Next is the Spinning Top Bot. You first encounter it in City Journey and is also found in Big Welt's Factory. This enemy is very passive. It moves around an area, and it can only damage you if it makes contact with you. It has very little health and very easy to defeat, especially with a scrap launcher.
Anybody want some liquid metal?
Next are the small spike bots. You first encounter them in City Journey and they last appeared in Outmode Zone. They patrol on platforms and when you get close they hide, exposing their spikes. If you turn around, they'll inch closer to you to do damage, but they have very little health and aren't really difficult. Another robot that appears in City Journey is the Bulldozer bot, and it later makes an appearance in Ratchet Showdown. Basically, these bots will charge right at you. They have quite a bit of health, you have to hit them from the sides or back, and the scrap launcher is pretty effective against them. Next is the Piranha Bot. This robot jumps out of acid and lava in City Journey, Out Mode Zone, and the Chop Shop. Surprisingly, it can't harm you, and you can't do damage to it. Next, we have the Aerial/Propeller Bot. It first appeared in City Journey and is also found in Big Welt's factory and the Chop Shop. This robo-thug hovers above the ground. It will use its claw-like legs to attack you, and it has little health.
Now that wasn't a very nice bot.
These wouldn't be considered enemies, but I decided to add them in anyway. Up next are robots driving pods, and they can be found in the city raceways, and Big Weld Chase. When driving a pod or Big Weld, you have to watch out for other pods bumping into you and avoid crashing into them.
Hey you! Might be time for an eye upgrade.
Next is this green robot, and it's only found in Big Welt's factory. It will use its 2 arm cannons to shoot 2 missiles. It will hit you if you're close, and it has little health. Next are the large security robots. You first encounter them in Big Welt's factory, and 2 of them appear in Out Mode Zone. They will hit you with their claws, and they're pretty much like the first security bot, but they're slower at attacking. Up next is the Bazooka Bot. He's first found in Big Welt's factory and is also found in Big Welt's mansion. When this robo-thug spots you, he will kneel and shoot a missile that homes in on you, meaning it follows you around. He has little health, and he will hit you if you're close. Next, we have the security turret, and it's found in the same locations as the Bazooka Bot. This turret fires 2 missiles at a time that home in on you. It has quite a bit of health, but still really easy to defeat.
Recycle!
Next are these 2 dodgem bots. The first one is found in Big Welt's factory. It patrols around an area like the spinning top bot. When you get close to these bots, they'll show off a bunch of spikes, and they're pretty easy to defeat. The second one can be found in the old sewer. This one is bigger, different looking, and it breathes out fire, but you can easily defeat it by running it over.
I have seen it before, but never like this.
Next is the spiky berserker bot. You first encounter it in Big World's factory and it can be found in the old sewer and the chop shop. This hovering bot will chase you. If it touches you, it will explode and damage you in the process. It only has 1 HP and the best way to defeat it is with a scrap launcher or other ranged gadgets. Also, this bot is passive in the old sewer. The first boss in the game are Ratchet's employees in Big Welt's factory. There are 8 employees, 2 variations, and they pop out of these hatches. They can hit you, throw bombs, mock you, and they can spawn bombs, health crosses, security robots, and dog bots. To defeat them, you just have to hit them with your wrench or use the scrap launcher, but you can ground pound to quickly take them out.
Upgrades.
Next, we have the cannon bot, and it's only found in out mode zone. When it spots you, it will slowly position and fire a single missile. It has low health, and because it takes so long to position, it's really easy to defeat. Next are the workers from the chop shop. You first meet these bots in out mode zone and they can be found in obviously the chop shop and Ratchet Showdown. They can hit you with their saw or claw and they have little health.
Now who's outmoded? Keep up with a dishwasher's son, eh?
Next is another type of brute bot. You first encounter it in out mode zone and can be found in the chop shop. This robo thug has a fish looking face. It will hit you and it's pretty much a weaker version of the brute bot.
Anybody want some liquid metal? Here, let me fix that.
Our second boss is the maintenance sewer bot, and he's found in Sewer Showdown. This boss will fire cannons that shoot out acid or dog bots. To defeat him, you have to fire your acid cannons at the right time to hit him. Once he fires all of his cannons, or if you do damage to him, he will pull a switch to reload them. And after doing damage to him, a short cutscene of him falling apart will play. One more thing to mention is that in the movie, he shows up in the battle on Rodney's side. Next, we have the Spike Shield and Gun bot, and he's only found in the chop shop. Unlike the previous one, this one only fires one missile. He will use his Spike Shield to hit you, but still really easy to take out. Next are these red robots that shoot out electricity, and only 2 of them appear in the chop shop. These slow bots will stun you, and because of their slow speed, they're pretty easy to defeat.
You got unscrewed. Take that!
The Bombot is a pretty weird enemy and he's only found in the Chop Shop. Now this Robo-Thug will drop mines from its butt when you're close. The mines explode at a certain time or when you step on them. When you have the high ground, he will turn around and shoot 5 small bombs at you. Next, we have our second cannon bot, and like the previous enemies, it is also found in the Chop Shop. This cannon will fire 5 small bombs, and that's pretty much it.
I am precious metal.
In the third boss battle, we have Ratchet's 5 tanks and Ratchet Showdown. These tanks don't attack you, but they do spawn in dog bots, worker bots, bulldozer bots, and 3 new bots, which I'll get to soon. The tanks have blue eyes, and you have to wait for them to open. Once they open, fire a piece of scrap and the eye will turn red. Do this to the other 4 and you'll meet the 4th boss, but once the tank is defeated, they will still spawn in enemies.
For a nice bot,
During this boss fight, there are 3 new robots that the tanks spawn in. The second variation of the worker bot that runs on wheels and has 3 HP. These small bots here with 1 HP, and skater bots that have 1 HP and skate around. These bots will charge right at you and explode. There's also a Zeppelin that flies around and drops in the small bots.
my dad. My dad taught me that.
Now, our final boss in this review is Ratchet himself, and you fight him in Ratchet Showdown after when you defeated the 5 tanks. Ratchet will hop from tank to tank, commanding enemies to attack you, and he'll throw bombs at you, which you can shoot to avoid taking damage. Ratchet has quite a lot of health, and you have to shoot him a few times to drain health. Just don't lose to him, otherwise you have to fight the tanks again.
Take him down. This kid. Get him, boys. Coming at ya.
Oh, pilot's crap.
Fix this, kid. Outload him. Take him down.
Bot goes bye-bye.
So yeah, that was every single enemy and boss and robots. A very interesting game, and it gave me Meet the Robinsons the video game vibes. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the review. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next review that I come up with.
You are not permitted in this area. Please hold still and prepare to be captured.